I'm going to take a quick moment here and a little bit of your time and address a growing need that some have observed within our little circle of the gun community in regards to self-defense. In context, the root of self-defense is de-escalation, meaning that the amount of tension and stress and a fight is way up here. You want to get that down to a normal level where you don't have a fight and the situation isn't so tense. Believe it or not, even when you talk about gunplay, you're actually referring to de-escalation. Because unless you're on the wrong side of the fight, what you're trying to do is you are actually employing violence to de-escalate a situation. You know, a person is being violent, and you answer their violence with additional violence in order to stop it. Pacifists see that as a very ironic and hypocritical thing, and I think their argument to a point is valid, because violence is violence. You never know what a person's true intentions are when we're talking about crossing that line and doing bad. Recently I was a co-host with Captain Burrs on his blog TV, and we talked about self-defense encounters and rules of engagement, for lack of a better term. And he had asked me the question about, in a free-for-all type scenario, what way do you respond to a person who walks up to your property and their hand is on their firearm? And I stated that, a hand on the firearm is the same as a person wielding a weapon, because the little ready position that you see the military using that's a fighting position. As a matter of fact, that ready position, I believe, used to be called the fighting position. Now, I'm getting a little old now, but, that they called it ready, even though it's the same thing to propagate this whole kinder, gentler military. But make no mistake, it's a fighting position. The weapon is not slung. So, anywho, the idea is to de-escalate, and the key to that is communication. You have to be willing to work through your own stress to clearly communicate to the other person to make sure that there is no misunderstanding. And of course, it's always best to communicate that through some sort of an advantage. I don't know. I'd like to open the floor to that and actually be that it's so key. Even in a violent type scenario where people are killing one another, which is just such a terrible thing to imagine on our own soil. You still don't want to partake in that, man. Let's say you shoot somebody and you're fully in the right, man. You now have 200 pounds of shit laying in your yard. What are you going to do with that 200 pounds of shit? Any of y'all ever haul a 200 pound game animal out of the woods? It's a hike, man. You drag 200 pounds around. It sucks. Just some food for thought, and putting that de-escalation in context. Y'all have a great weekend if I don't talk to you again.